Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone, good morning all of you. This is Ashima and you're watching us on Entry Channel. So this is a daily current affairs video in which we're going to talk about the news events in a more informative format so that it is helpful for, for all the examinations that are there. That being banking examination as a major prospect for us, and apart from that we'll be focusing on other examination information as well, be it of SSC or of defense examinations, and obviously banking, for which we are here. Right, so it is for all the examinations, so you can share it. It's going to be helpful for all the examination appearance or aspirants. So we'll be moving in a more descriptive format, but in case you want more questions practice, you can attempt the daily quiz, for which link is provided in the descriptive section below. You can download the app from the Play Store, and there you can attempt the daily quiz of current affairs, which is updated, which has 10 to 15 questions every day, and it is hardly a 10-minute quiz, 10 to 15 minutes quiz depending on the number of questions, and you can attempt it easily, and that will help you keep in touch with the current affairs. Right, so with that I'll be beginning up the segment of ours today. The first one is SDG investor map for India. So for India, an SDG investor map has been created, and this has been created for the perspective that as of the whole worldwide, sustainable development goals have been set up for 2030. Right, we all are aware about that, but due to COVID, the gap of financing for this, you can say, goals excuse me. So financing of these goals has become quite a dubious situation as of now. So there have been wide gaps, or the gaps of finance terms have been widened up. So how to cover that gap of finance which has been created, which is, well, the economy is already going down. For that, an investor map has been created which will help the country guide it towards the perspective that where the country should bring investors or invest in, so that the amount can be generated. So who has created it? It was launched by Invest India and United Nations Development Program. And they have laid out 18 investment opportunity areas in 6 critical sustainable development goals. So there are 18 opportunity areas which have been marked, and there are 6 sustainable development goals that have been marked, for which these investment opportunity areas are there. And this will help in reducing the sustainable development goal financing gap which is there. The gap being of how much amount? That is approximately close to 400 billion US dollars. So about 400 million dollars increased in the already gap which was there. So already the gap was there of 2.5 trillion. On that, 400 billion more gap has come up. So to fulfill that gap, there are 6 sectors which have been identified. That being healthcare, education, financial service, agriculture, allied service, renewable energy, and alternative and sustainable environment. These are the 6 areas where these 18 identified opportunities are there. So all the India needs to do is find opportunities for bringing in investment in that country. And India is a major prospect for sustainable development goal completion, because 17% of the population is in India or residing in India. So if India implements those goals, 17% of the world population will already benefit from those goals. Therefore, the role of India is very, very important as of now. Right. Then Snap Incorporation, or Snapchat, has rolled out a feature called Spotlight, which will allow users to share short form videos publicly on its Snapchat app. So on Snapchat, a new feature has come of Spotlight, which will help upload short form videos publicly. UAE has brought in 100% in foreign ownership of firms. That is, no longer Emirati shareholders are required. Earlier, the rule was, or the regulation was, that if anyone wants to invest in UAE, wants to open a company or a firm in UAE, the investor or shareholder must be an Emirati. Only then the firm can be opened, or you can open a franchisee over there. right? So this has been removed. That means any foreign investor, if someone who is not of UAE wants to open or invest in UAE, they do not need to have a Emirati shareholder. Now UAE has been making certain major changes in its regulations in the recent time being, because of bringing in more investment, for bringing in more people in the country. Because of the COVID, there have been a huge hits in UAE also. So to bring the economy back to track, there are certain changes that have been done. Like recently, the golden visa, which is of UAE, that had been expanded to other people also, to professors and stuff. So golden visa is a 10-year long period visa which is given to certain group of people. So that certain group had been expanded a bit further, so that more and more people can come in UAE and study or work or whatever they feel like doing. Right. And apart from that, recently UAE had changed the Islamic laws. That was also quite a news. While in Islamic laws, they had changed things about alcohol. So alcohol things were changed over there. The regulations on alcohol were reduced. Then live-in relationships or unmarried relationships, as we can say, they were also allowed. So a bit of flexibility in Islamic laws was seen in UAE. And the third thing that it had done was accept Israel, and they had signed a pact called Abraham Accord recently, which was also followed by Bahrain. Bahrain had also joined UAE in that prospect, and it has been approved by Israeli parliament also. So UAE has accepted Israel. It was mediated by USA. Then Islamic laws have been amended. Then foreign ownership has been given 100%. That means Emirati shareholder is not a compulsion. And golden visa has been expanded. The circle of golden visa applicants has been increased. Then 43 more mobile apps have been banned by MEIT, by our Ministry of Electronics and IT. How have they done it? They have done it under Section 69A of Information Technology Act or IT Act. Right, so this has been done by Ministry of Information and IT, and it was basically on the reports based on Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, which is a Ministry of Home Affairs. So from there it has come, and it is for the third time that India has taken a step of blocking another set, and this set includes Alibaba, Workbench, it includes Ali suppliers and major companies of China, most of them. The important thing here is who is the Minister of Electronics and IT or MEIT? That is Ravi Shankar Prasad. So the minister is Ravi Shankar Prasad. Right? And moving ahead, International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women was marked by United Nations on 25th of November recently. And the theme this year is Fund, Respond, Prevent and Collect. Right. Apart from this being celebrated on 25th of November, a 16 days activism program is also running, which is a campaign for gender-based violence, and this is beginning on 25th of November. That is the gender violence day, and it is going to end on December the 10th. Right. Then DRDO has flagged off the first Varunastra, the heavyweight torpedo designed and developed by BDL, Vishakhapatnam unit of Indian Navy. So they can ask you who has launched it and stuff. Then of mega food park at Fagwada in Kapurthala district was inaugurated by Food Processing Minister. Now food and processing industry has been flourishing as of now. It has been growing. India is investing a lot in food processing as of now. Now there is a National Food Processing Policy which was launched in 2019, which aims at increasing the number of food processing plants in the country. They are working towards that. So that was launched, and in that it is a part that mega food park should be there, so that food processing can reach and the food that goes into processing is increased, because as of now there are approximately hardly 2% of the food that is processed. So food processing is very necessary. Then Niti Aayog is going to study the feasibility of ultra high speed travel using Hyperloop technology. So for Hyperloop technology study, Niti Aayog has set up a committee whose chairperson is going to be Niti Aayog member VK Saraswat. So VK Saraswat is going to look after this committee, or you can say form if this is going to work fine or not. So is it applicable in India? Is it going to be beneficial for India? That kind of things are going to be studied by the committee, and this committee will submit the report in the coming 6 months. So a time period of 6 months has been given to this committee for understanding about the Hyperloop and its activity in India. Right. Apart from that, Railways Board CEO is also a member of it. So Railways Board Chairman and CEO is also a member of it. And who is the Railways Board Chairman and CEO? That is V.K. Yadav. V.K. Yadav is a Railway Board CEO and Chairperson, and he is also a member of it. Then DRDO Chairperson Dr. G. Satish Reddy. Dr. G. Satish Reddy, who is of DRDO, Chairperson of DRDO. He is also a member of this committee, or he has been brought in as a member of this committee. Then MD of Delhi Metro. Let me change the color. So MD of Delhi Metro, Managing Director of Delhi Metro. He is also a part of this committee. And who is it? It is a Mangu Singh. Mangu Singh, who is the MD of Delhi Metro, he is also a part of it. And IIT Delhi Director, that is Dr. Ram Gopal Rao. Dr. Ram Gopal Rao, who is the director of IIT Delhi, he is also a part of this committee. Right? So the other members, the major members are these. And who is the CEO of Niti Aayog? That can also be asked, because Niti Aayog is quite in news all the time. So Niti Aayog CEO is Amitabh Kant. Right. Next, Indian Railways has also collaborated with Indian School of Business, Hyderabad. ISB Hyderabad and Indian Railways have collaborated for integrated coal freight optimization model. That is coal travel using trains which use coal as the medium of travel. So for increasing that efficiency, for that purpose, Indian Railways has tied up with ISB Hyderabad. So about this, Chairman and CEO, I've already told you, V.K. Yadav is the CEO of Indian Railway Board, and Indian Railway Board has been formed in this year only, so it is kind of important, right? Next, Delhi Crime web series has won the 48th International Emmy Award, and it has bagged the award in the Best Drama Series Award. So now it is important. First of all, Delhi Crime web series is based on which case? That is Nirbhaya case. And then it is a possible question, when did this case take place? That was 2016, right? And since it's an Emmy Award winner, so which series or web series has won the Best Drama Series Award of International Emmy? That is also a possible question. Then Reserve Bank of India rejected Muthoot Finance proposal to acquire IDBI AMC. And India has successfully test-fired the land attack version of BrahMos supersonic missile, and the test firing was done in Andaman Sea, Andaman and Nicobar, and this was kind of important. BrahMos test was kind of important because over here the range of BrahMos has been increased, of the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. Its range has been increased, that is, its range has reached 400 kilometers now. Earlier it was only 290 kilometers, so it has been increased to 400 kilometers now. And the speed increment has also taken place, that is, it has been increased to 3 times the speed of sound. Its new speed is 3 times the speed of sound. Alright, then HDFC Bank and ICICI have signed an MOU to empower the small and medium sector enterprises and increasing the investment, as we can say, in the area, and bringing in more affordability to the area. So if we talk about what they have done, so HDFC and ICCI, first of all, the full forms of ICCI, that is Investipreneur Chamber of Commerce and Industries. That is ICCI, and they both have signed an MOU. And via this, ICCI is going to engage in supporting the startups and medium small enterprises and facilitating the financial and other facilities from HDFC and to HDFC. So ICCI headquarters are in New Delhi and HDFC headquarters are in Mumbai. Both of the headquarters are different. ICCI is in New Delhi and HDFC is in Mumbai. And HDFC CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, has recently was featured in Forbes Best CMOs of the World. His rank was 37 or something. So HDFC is important from that perspective also, that the CMO of HDFC was featured in Forbes Best CMOs of the World. Right? Who is the MD and CEO of HDFC? That is Shashidhar Jagdishan. MD and CEO of HDFC is Shashidhar Jagdishan. Right? Then Mercedes-Benz India has partnered with SBI in first of its kind retail marketing. So for entering into the retail marketing, and Mercedes-Benz India partnered with SBI. And over here, what we need to know is about Mercedes-Benz India CEO as of now. Who is the CEO of Mercedes-Benz? That is Martin Schwenk. So Martin is the CEO of Mercedes, and SBI chairperson is Dinesh Kumar Khara. Dinesh Kumar Khara is the SBI chairperson. And as for the headquarters, Mercedes-Benz India headquarters are in Pune and SBI headquarters are in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Right? As for the collaboration that has happened, first of the time this collaboration has taken place, and it will help Mercedes-Benz reach a potential customers through the bank's national penetration in the 17 circles that are there. Right? So it is going to help the customers to avail online benefits as well as offline benefits on purchase of Mercedes-Benz cars, right? So with this, I'll be taking your leave. Thank you so much for watching us. Have a wonderful day ahead, and all your doubts can be questioned up in the comment segment. So I'll be answering them as soon as they come to my notice. Thank you so much and have a great day ahead.